Hello, hello.
GM Valko, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I am in Tokyo and I just left a crypto meetup. There was I don't know, like 50 or so people there, including one new crypto punk called Sunrock,
Oh,
and it was dope. Now I'm walking home.
nice, nice. It's already evening over there, right?
Oh yeah, it's 10 p.m.
Nice, 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 nice.
I've got
It's
a
interesting because
I got
last
a
week you were on one side of the planet, now you're on the other side of the planet, and we're having the same call.
I know, yeah, I'm trying to stay disciplined about this time. It's 10 p.m. I don't have any events really planned. Oh, I left this one early. I was in London a few days ago, and now I'm in Tokyo. So I'll be here for like 10 or 12 days.
Crazy, crazy. If you think of it, you're just hopping from one side of the planet to the next.
I know. I really thought that London would be closer to Tokyo. Like, I thought the flight
Yeah,
would be shorter than New York to Tokyo, but they're actually exactly the same distance.
yeah. But you had to go through London. You couldn't go straight to Tokyo, could you?
No, no,
Or
you could. I was in London for something else.
I see. Nice, nice. I actually studied in London. So I spent like 5 years of my life there. It was a cool period.
I love it there. I mean, you know, if I could get my girlfriend to work remote, um, which obviously no pressure. I think she has an amazing job. But if I could,
Yeah,
I would love to spend a month or two in London.
yeah. No, London is great during the summer. It's a bit cold during the winter and stuff, but if you get to live in the center of London, where everything is pretty much walking distance, it's super fun.
Where were you doing like studies over there?
I was, I don't know if you know, near Hyde Park, that area. Uh,
Oh yeah, of course, right?
uh,
Buckingham Palace.
yeah, like very close to that, Buckingham Palace.
It's kind of a big deal.
Play. Yeah, I mean, I was not in the Buckingham Palace, right? But yeah, it was a very kind of nice period. I lived in the center, but many people who live in London, they commute in. Like it's a huge, huge city. I guess like New York and stuff, but it's different than, let's say, I don't know, a Barcelona or a Budapest or something smaller, where everyone just lives close by.
I mean, I've lived in Boston. I've lived in New York. I've lived in Washington D.C. And like, there's something special about London. It's international in a way that no major U.S. city is.
Yeah, I actually never been to Boston. That's on my to visit list.
Oh, do it, man! It's a small city, but it's special. It has a lot of history. I mean, nothing in the U.S. really has amazing history compared to Europe, but
Yeah.
Boston is one of the more historic places in the U.S.
Yeah. Exotics, I see you hopped on. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning from across the globe. How's it going?
Good. Where are you at?
I'm in the east coast of the U.S.
Nice, nice. What like
GM.
you're not you're not in New York probably, no?
Uh, I go to New York quite often, but not currently. I'm a big fan um, of the food and the many things to do there. Oh, and
Nice.
of course NFT NYC is going on, which I would have liked to go to, but the dates are kind of conflicting with some things I got going on.
Are you closer to DC?
It's funny you mentioned DC. Like I have family that live there. But no, I'll just say I'm in Florida, um, where all the New Yorkers moved in the past couple of years.
Oh, you're in that Miami, the sixth borough or whatever the hell of New York, or near it.
It's funny. There was a period in time where it was like literally so expensive to rent a place. It was like it felt like New York again.
Yeah, my dad did the classic, Northeast DC guy move, which is he retired to Florida.
Yeah, that's the move with the taxes and everything. I mean, but now it's actually getting um I don't know how to describe it, but it's a little bit expensive now because of insurance, has gone up since, a few events, and then property taxes too have gone up a lot. So um I don't like that. I think it's not tenable at some level, but just got to roll the punches.
Hey man, the market does what the market wants. So I've been completely offline the past couple of days recovering from jet lag for Everpunk, so I have no idea what the hell is happening right now in the NFT space. Has anything exciting happened in the past few days besides people posting about
Ah,
getting
man, it's a
ready
good
for
question.
NFT NYC?
It's a good question. I have to admit, I was very similar to you. I think I did something that I haven't done in a very, very long time. I was 3 days without a laptop and without like really a phone. So I took the weekend off for Easter, and I did like a bit of a digital detox kind of thing.
That's good.
And yeah, and it's only today that I'm like back to my laptop, back to Twitter, catching up on things. So yeah, still looking around. I don't know, exotics. How about you? Any thoughts? I haven't seen you around, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you want to share a bit about your background and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, so I got into NFTs in the art, digital art space about a year ago, um, which I have an interest in art. It's just my crypto interest was more in the RH Hex ecosystem. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I started seeing some of the digital art, and I got really into it, and then I got involved in a project. My PFP. It's called the Staker class, and then Hex Funks, and then yeah. I mean, I just got really into NFTs, and mostly I'm here for like just having fun. Like I'm not like I'd like to make money, like that'd be cool, but I'm here to have fun basically, and look at cool artwork. So that's my little story.
Nice, nice. I like your PFP. It's like, are those like big shades, a bit like mine?
It's got some nowness. Oh yeah, it does look like big shades. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Glovins. It's totally big shades.
Yeah, and I like the color combo as well. It's pretty cool.
It reminds me of this poster I used to have in my room. It's like kind of popular in the US, called like the Endless Summer poster. And it has like a very famous like sunset picture and like a surfer.
Glovin, you hopped up. What's up? How's it going?
Great. I'm in New York actually.
Oh yeah, you're doing the NFT NYC stuff.
Yeah.
How's that
Falco,
going?
are you in New York? Yeah, good, great. Like it's like the day two of my trip. I just got into the hotel. I'm going to an event today, like DJ and Arcade,
Oh yeah.
which yeah, Tony is hosting. And yeah, everything's great so far. I actually love the bagels here.
You have to order if you wake up one morning and you don't want to go anywhere, but you want food. Order a Brooklyn Bagel and get anything.
Uh-huh.
Everything's good from Brooklyn Bagel.
Yeah, like there's like top three bagels in New York. I found it in the blog post. Like one of top three is like right next to the hotel that I'm staying. I went to the bagel place, and I usually don't like bagel, but like the bagel here is it's like a different food.
Yeah, I mean, basically all other bagels aren't real bagels. New York is one of the few cities that makes proper bagels. I've heard though from other people that Montreal bagels are a pretty good rival.
Oh, I see. Are you in New York right now, Falco? Are
No,
you in Tokyo?
I'm in Tokyo. I'm in Japan. I got here like 2 days ago. I finally recovered from my jet lag, and I just left a crypto event, and I'm on a 2 hour walk home. I could take the subway, and it would be like 20 minutes, but I don't want to lose service for the space. So I'm walking. It's nice. I'm getting to see the city, hang out with some friends. Apologies for the wind. I'm trying to mute in between, but it's nice. It's relaxing.
Oh, I see. Are you visiting Korea too? It's right next.
Not this trip, no.
How's the events in New York? I actually am a good friend of Tony. I minted his NFT last week, and yeah, I feel bad that I cannot attend his event. But so you're going to that one? Say hi to him from me.
Forever Punks, are you on a walk?
I'm kind of in the street, but not on a walk. Is my mic bad? Is my voice bad?
No, no, it's perfect. I just heard like a little hum of a
I
bird in
don't
the
think the
background.
network is too. Can you guys hear me?
On and off. Now I can. Can you repeat, Glovin?
Oh yeah. I haven't been to any like events yet. I heard until like you're good friends with and it stopped.
Yeah, Tony. I mint. He had his NFT mint. I think last week. I think it's still going on. I minted one of those, the Degen Arcade Power Pass or something. So yeah. Say hi
Oh
to him if
yeah.
you go to the event from me. Well, go have a look into that if you haven't yet. It's like a fairly cheap pass just to support his
Yeah,
initiative.
I didn't get whitelisted, so I missed my opportunity to mint the other day, but it's still open, yeah?
Yeah, it's still open. I mean, it was not like a power sellout as some of these are, but you know, like Tony's been such a good friend, like along a couple of last months, maybe last year, that I was like, man, it's and it's also Nest Graphics, the art on that one. So I was like,
Yeah, that's a big deal.
it's a cool piece.
Yeah, it's cool.
But
Like we're based in Forever Punk.
that's a good question. I mean, currently I'm in Spain, but
Oh.
mostly around Europe. I'm actually discussing with my girlfriend of maybe doing a trip to Indonesia, Bali, over the summer,
Oh,
and
I
then
see.
do also like maybe Croatia, stuff like that. But I'm
Oh,
fairly all over the
I
place.
like exactly during summer, is it? I'm also actually planning to go to Indonesia. I lived in Malaysia for like 3 years. I might go back to
Yeah.
like see my old friends too.
Oh, nice.
Is there like a Web3 scene in Bali? I mean, it's like obviously a remote worker's paradise, but do you know if there's like a big crypto culture there?
Are you asking me? I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really know. I actually haven't been to Bali yet, but I would guess so. You know, like it's the type of people that are kind of into this kind of stuff, I would imagine.
Valko, by the way, friend of mine was planning like a hacker house in Bali. Maybe I'll ask him like if you're interested.
It's on my
Like
list,
like
man.
crypto
It's
hacker
like
house.
I want to go spend like 3 months abroad, and I'd love to spend a few weeks in Bali. I've never been though. I'm in Forever Punks, but
This summer, Valko, are you looking at for this summer, or what are you looking at?
yeah, maybe. I've got really no agenda aside from like pre-existing, a few pre-existing travel plans. But I'm super keen. Seriously, dude, I'm super keen on doing Lisbon.
Oh yeah, no, Lisbon is for now. I'm like 90% sure I'm going. I just have to figure out the accommodation stuff, and then otherwise I'm going. But yeah, hop over for Lisbon. I think that's in
Are you
early
going with
June.
your girlfriend?
Not with my girlfriend. I'm going with a friend. With my designer actually. So that would be my Lisbon trip.
Nice. Well, I'll split whatever with you. Maybe we'll get a Punks Roundtable crew going.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And there's a bunch of people going as well that I know. So and John Carp. I don't know if you know him. I met him in person in Paris. He's one of the organizers, so you would want to reach out to him if you're going.
Sorry, I'm staying on mute. It just got super windy. I like really want to jaywalk here, but you're definitely not allowed to.
Fernando, you hopped up on stage. How's it
Hey,
going?
how's it going, guys? I'll be going to Lisbon too, so I'll see you over there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice. It feels like everyone from Europe is going to go to Lisbon. It's kind of going to be like the equivalent of an FT Paris, it feels
Yeah,
like.
I think so. Are you getting like the tickets for the non-fungible conference?
I haven't gotten tickets yet, but I think you can get them at a pretty steep discount still.
Yeah, I think I will get them. I mean, I don't know if just go to the side events or maybe if it's worth it to like go to the conference too, you know? Like the first one of this kind I'm going, non-fungible conference, but I don't know, yeah.
I think you just got to see, like, look at the speaker lineup. If you really want to see the speakers, then I would say get a ticket. But, like, if you look at the speaker list and you're like, I don't know who these people are, or like, I don't care to listen to them, then I would say just go and, like, just go to the events. Because, like, most of the benefits, in my opinion, of going to these things are the events. I know a lot of people say that, but I really do think it's true.
No, yeah, I think the same. I totally think the same.
But like if you have the money to throw around, then get the ticket. It gives you optionality.
Yeah, no, but I think totally the same as you. Like I don't know, when I was in NFT New York last year, I didn't get any tickets, and it was super fun. Like I met so many people in different events and learned a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, like I'm here in Tokyo and I'm going to DAO Tokyo. I actually won. They did like a giveaway on Twitter for 2 tickets. I actually won it totally coincidentally because I was already coming. But yeah, this is gonna be my first like actual crypto conference where I paid for a ticket or didn't pay for a ticket, but I'm going to the conference and not just the parties afterwards.
Yeah, that's nice. I paid for a token 2049 in London, but I don't know. I could say it was maybe worth it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I met some cool people, but yeah.
Oh, we've got a SIG in the audience.
Hi, it's Mark. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Feel free to request the mic if you feel like. But it makes me think that probably the biggest thing that happened over the weekend that I can think of is Bitcoin broke 30K. What do you guys think of that?
Did it actually break through?
Dude, it's over it even now. It's over 30K now.
Oh, I like looked like 4 hours ago and it was like under. But maybe that was just for a moment.
I guess like from what I've seen through the market, I think the next cycle would be on ETH and then to other alts. Like it's been how it's going. Like after Bit, it comes to ETH. The dominance of Bitcoin decreases, then dominance of ETH increases, then the dominance of altcoins increase. I guess it's like some kind of cycle that happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense. Like I view all these other cryptocurrencies like pretty similar to how I view like tech stocks in the stock market. Like if the S&P, like the market moves, then like these other things move more. And like similarly, like I think that's the case for like ETH and then other like popular other coins. You know what I mean? It's like we would call it like a high beta or high systematic risk stock.
Yeah, well, I feel Bitcoin is not fully done yet. I still think we have more to go over here, and then yes, eventually, it's going to roll over probably to ETH and the other stuff. But I think the narrative is still like it still has backwind, especially like what I thought that's now that it broke 30K. Like it's such a mental barrier that it could maybe even run higher from here.
Yeah, I mean, I like am never one to try to tell people like, you know, it's going up or it's going down. But like one thing I do feel pretty strongly about, and this is because like I've observed it many times before, is Bitcoin's gonna hit a new all-time high. That's just my personal opinion. It's not financial advice, but I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Like I'm betting on that. So when people are like, "Is now a good time to buy, or should I wait?" I'm just like, "Look, not financial advice, but I personally believe Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high. You know, it's done it many times before, and people think, well, was that the last one? You know, is it over? Am I too late to the party? Should I wait for the perfect opportunity?" And I'm like, look, if you believe the same thing I believe, which is Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high, then just buy and hold for a long fucking time. Like, period, end of story.
I mean
Not financial
that's
advice.
what they say, right? Like time in the market beats market momentum. But I mean, still, I believe that I'm waiting for it to drop and buy more. But yeah,
Do you think anybody in this space thinks like the all-time high for Bitcoin is in and it will never reach a new all-time high? Like, what percentage of people do you think believe that
I
in the
think
crypto space?
in the crypto space it must be zero.
I think it would reach a new
Like,
all-time high for sure. Yeah.
And we have the happening like around the corner, like April something of next year, I think.
yeah,
And like all the catalysts from the traditional finance, like SVB crisis and more, it's gonna um, like it's gonna be the core catalyst for maybe breaking the new all-time high.
Yeah, and also it's been how many years since Bitcoin was invented? Like not even like I don't know, like not even 100. You know, it's gonna break in like reach a new all-time high for sure in like in the long term. I'm totally sure about it. I think it's. I mean, I think we are super early. Like it's something that was invented like about like after 2000. You know.
I was at a dinner party the other day and we were like playing trivia. And if you got the trivia question right, you could ask another like trivia question. Like you'd ask the group a question. And so I got like this one question right. And I'm really bad at trivia generally. So I was like, oh, like what's one thing I know about? And I was like, oh, like I know about crypto, but can't ask anything too hard. So I was gonna ask people like what year was Bitcoin released? But I was like, like I don't think they're gonna know this. Like I should go easier. So I decided I would ask them what is like what is the alias of the person who created Bitcoin? And it was like 10 people in the room. They all like work in like finance or something in New York, and not a single person knew the answer. So I had to tell them like Satoshi Nakamoto, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like I thought it was
that
more
is
common
crazy.
knowledge,
Yeah.
but even that, like, you know, the average person in finance didn't know. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's super crazy. I mean, I think it's 2008, right? I mean, I totally bet on that base.
I think
Oh,
2009.
2009 again, yeah. But the thing is, for example, I don't know. I had to look up what date Microsoft was created. That was like I know it's nothing similar, but it was like 1974, you know. And that actually motivates me a lot because I mean, 1974 is like long time ago. If you were in like 1993, you probably thought that internet was going to go nowhere, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. There's plenty of more impactful companies so far that if you ask the room, they couldn't tell you like the founder or anything like that.
I'm just looking at the Bitcoin chart. The last time it was over 30K was in June of last year. So that's like 10 months. It has not been above 30K, which is pretty cool. I think. I mean, and especially now ETH is just below 2K. You know, so $2,000 is also this mental barrier. I think. If ETH could break through that, then you know you have ETH over 2K, Bitcoin over 30K. That's not too bad, I would say.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like
it's not
I'm
bad at
walking
all.
now,
Yeah,
but once I get home, I'm gonna look at the ETH Bitcoin chart. So I'm really curious to see how it behaves after like all this Bitcoin movement, like leading up to it. And after the fact.
Yeah, it's been on a downtrend for a while, that chart. So usually I think like it's been explained, once the Bitcoin pump happens, then Ethereum, and then the altcoins. There was someone else that was saying that the saying is time in the market often beats timing the market. So we don't always know exactly when the low is, but if you're constantly DCAing and putting in a little bit here and there, then eventually, hopefully, you have a lot. Your pile increases a lot. So that's kind of been my strategy.
Yeah, I was the one who said that. At the same time, I gotta say that I calculated what if you did the, I mean, just to, what if you did dollar cost average during the last like 2 years, and your average price will be like 2,000. I mean, I calculated that like 3 months ago, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy to say 2 years ago because ETH has been in like a downtrend, since then. But yeah, I don't know, like. I think those are always like difficult questions to ask. Like I bought some crypto in November. I was really sure about what I was buying, but now I'm like kind of like super lost. I want to go in. I think it's going to drop in the near future, but you never know. So yeah, I mean, if you, for example, don't have any exposure, I think for sure you should buy right now. Is the moment to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another kind of principle I think that applies a lot to crypto markets, which is price reflexivity, meaning that when price goes up, it goes up. It's an inflated move, and then when it goes down like more than you think it would have, right? Bitcoin goes down like 85%, right? The last time from 69 to 17K. So yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's just about patience, if anything. But yeah, I'm happy to see what's going on. Can I give like a 30-second, not shill, but there's a new network that's coming out, and obviously if you're first to a network, sometimes you benefit from that, I would say most of the time.
Sure, sure.
So
Yeah, I would love to.
so you guys were talking about my PFP. So all of the colors in the PFP represent like different things. The glasses are the hex coin. The background is PulseX, which is going to be a fork of Uniswap on a new network, which is going to be called Pulse Chain. So it's been about 2 years that we've been waiting for it. So you guys don't have to wait 2 years. Hopefully, it'll be out within a month, and it's going to be a layer one EVM Ethereum fork that will multiply the supply of Ethereum by 1 million, and hopefully have very low fees. So right now, in America, or the modernized world, I shouldn't say the modern. Well, the advanced world, it's okay for us to pay, the gas fees that we're paying, but somewhere else in the world, like sub-Saharan Africa or Southeast Asia, it might not be so. It's not. It's not useful for them because the fees are so high. So hopefully, this will be a way to onboard a lot more people into the crypto sphere. So, anyways, it's called PulseChain.com, and then the DEX is called PulseX. And yeah, hopefully it's cool. But you could be there day one, get some of your coins, and then you'll get copies of your ERC20s and ERC 721s on the network too, so that you can trade them over there.
So this sounds interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of people trying to solve the like gas problem. Do they have any other like motivation or reason why they're building this aside from lower gas costs? Because I figured that has been solved by like the Polygons and Arbitrums and Avalanches of the worlds.
Right. So I would just say Polygon right off the bat. There's been some issues with it, like the bridge exploits and some other things. And then Solana is down all the time.
Yeah, well, that one's definitely not a blockchain.
Yeah, Solana's down all the time. So like there hasn't been like a perfect solution. And I'm not saying that this is, but I definitely think that there's a lot of thought and people, and there's like 200 projects or so should be launching within the first couple months. So there's definitely like a big community and a lot of people behind it. So hopefully it can do well and help bring about more adoption to the marketplace.
Oh, that's super interesting. I'm like totally when Ethereum came around, uh, like when I was a Bitcoin maximalist, I would say from 2011 through 2000, probably like 19. When like in 2017, I saw this headline, um, and it said CryptoKitties breaks the Ethereum blockchain. And I thought that was really hilarious because I was a Bitcoin maxi and I viewed Ethereum as just, another shitcoin basically. So I really like laughed my ass off when I saw that. But it was still interesting enough to me to motivate me to like mint one CryptoKitty, actually two CryptoKitties, and I also bought two CryptoPunks that same day. It was in December 2017. So like I I'm now like way more open minded. Obviously, like I own a shit ton of NFTs, and I am way more active on the Ethereum blockchain than like I've ever been on the Bitcoin blockchain. Um, but with that said, I still like these days I acknowledge Ethereum's flaws. I think it's like obviously like has some scalability issues. Frankly, I think public ledgers have a lot of privacy issues. But at the same time, like I'm still so sensitive, just as I am with any new NFT project. I'm so sensitive and cautious with any new blockchain project because, like, frankly, like none of them are really going to make it. Like, very few of them will make it. Like, Ethereum made it, and all the Bitcoin people said it wouldn't. Bored Ape Yacht Club made it, and all the CryptoPunk holders at the time said it wouldn't make it. So I'm not saying this to promote or demote this pulse coin, but I'd say like currently I have this like I guess like slightly like 80% Ethereum maximalist point of view, but I am looking for something that like does solve its problems. And actually, like pretty recently, I have delved into using Arbitrum and using Avalanche and Polygon, and like that shit's been around for a while. And as somebody who's a deep cut Ethereum user, you think I would have used them before anyone else, but I've always kind of had this viewpoint like if it's not on Ethereum, I don't care, and that's for me starting to change a bit. So maybe for others it is as well. I don't know. What about you, Forever Punks? Have you been dabbling with any of the other like layer ones or any of the L2s?
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion we're having here because whenever we want to like onboard a normie friend of ours into crypto, we tell them, oh, just download MetaMask and then you can start playing around with these NFTs and thing. And for us, it's like borderline so natural to just download MetaMask and have a bit of ETH on it. Like we barely think, but then we lose what a mental leap it is for them. And my example would be like last week, I started playing around with Solana a bit, and for me to jump over to Solana, to download the wallet over there, to get some SOL into those wallets, to store my seed phrase or whatnot, felt like such a huge step,
Yeah,
And
and
that,
you know what you're doing. You're
and
like
I
a
know what I'm
dev.
doing. And that step, for me, the ETH maxi to go over just to Solana is so much smaller the step than for a normie to get onto Ethereum, And then suddenly, a new person gets onto Ethereum. They're like, oh shit, what is this $10 transaction fee? And then they don't know what they're doing, the seed phrase, blah, blah, blah. So back to your topic, exotics. Like for us, would it be just like would it be compatible with MetaMask to go over, or would it be like this whole kind of leap for us to get over, or is there like a native coin there, or because what I feel is that it's very much everyone likes to be comfortable with what they are, even us, these crypto people who are, we call ourselves like cutting edge and like pioneers and stuff, but like I feel very comfortable with what I'm doing. And you say, Valko, that you're spending most of your time in Ethereum. Me too. It's like yes. So yeah, this new chain, like how would it be accessible? Like what's the onboarding process for it?
Yeah, great question. So, um, you change a couple settings on the RPC, um, and you're on the network. In fact, I was just playing around with. There's a test net, right? So you can go
Yeah.
right now and do the test net. I was on revoke.cash, which I highly recommend everybody check out your permissions. Because of that sushi swap thing. But anyways, I was on revoke.cash and they're already supporting the Pulse chain testnet. So they're supporting it. Web3, I think there's a platform, I think it's called web3.com, and they support, NFTs. And I believe they're supporting the testnet. So you can actually go right now, pulsechain.com, and then I believe it'll help you just do the RPC settings for you. And obviously, like I always tell people to be cautious and use a burner wallet. Don't use your main wallet. Um, the code also, another interesting thing. The code is going to be open sourced, so you can, if you're a dev, you can look at it and examine it, and even possibly fork it yourself, because the whole idea here is horizontal. Like you're talking about scaling, like Ethereum has the scaling issue. So the whole idea with Pulse Chain is horizontal scaling, so that we can have more users on the blockchain effectively.
Hey, I have a question with Revoke.cash. Does it work also when you sign a permit? Because I use approvals.xyz to check like the health of my wallet, like what approvals have I signed. But I notice it doesn't it doesn't identify permit signings. What about revoke.cash? Does it identify permit signings?
But you mean
Yeah,
permissions, right? Do I have that right? Yes, I believe it
like
does.
you can approve and then transfer from, or you can like sign a permission and then whatever person can like execute that permit on yourself and then do a transfer from.
Yeah, I believe Revoke is good. There's a couple of them, but the one I use is Revoke.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, I use Revoke for managing my approvals. But are you talking about like DApp permissions?
Yeah, sorry, the mic. No, I'm talking about, for example, like instead of doing approve, you can like you can like sign a permit. So it's like a better UX. You don't have
Oh,
to pay gas fees. Whatever account can like execute the permit on your behalf, and then it's like the same effect as doing an approval.
isn't that like delegation for Everpunks? I mean, it sounds very similar.
Uh, not entirely sure, but like delegation just has basically a subset of permissions
No,
to the
permit
main.
is like it's in every RC20. Like you can see it in USDC, and it's like something quite new, I would say. I mean, not that new, but like they made it so you didn't have to like pay gas fees when you approve something. So you like sign a permit. That's why they say that you should be careful with what you sign. So you are signing something, and then you can like execute that permit. It's called permit. The function is called permit of RC20, and whoever like executes the permit on your behalf is like if you're approving a certain amount on your wallet for that token. So imagine, for example, I can approve 5 USDC with the approve function, or I can sign 5 USDC with the permit, and then somebody can execute that permit and 5 USDC
Yeah,
are approved. I don't know if you guys know
yeah,
about this.
yeah. I mean, I think this is quite in the weeds of the code itself, but I think it's commonly used with like giving approvals to coins. For example, when you use OpenSea, you give approval to your WETH over there, and that's how they do it. No?
Yeah. So, but now you can also like sign instead of doing approve. It has the same effect, but instead of like is doing the approved transaction, you can just sign and you pay like no gas fees. But what I was saying is like I noticed these tools don't notice the signing. So they are not telling you if you sign something and you don't know that you have like maybe approve some token or whatever token. Yeah.
But yeah, by the way, this makes me think. I just downloaded the most recent version of MetaMask, and there is a new feature in there that it warns you if you're likely to sign a malicious transaction. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
That I thought
I
that's
saw
pretty
this
cool.
like today. Yeah, I don't really know much about it, but I saw like an update on it today from my hotline.
Yeah, it's like an experimental feature that, for example, oh, you're about to, I don't know, sign a scammy transaction, like look out. And I think that's a really, really cool step. I mean, because I knew that there were like extensions and there were like side apps doing this, but to have it directly in the main MetaMask app, I think is could be a huge win.
Yeah, I totally think that's great. And also, like, depends on what you're signing. It says, hey, OpenSea says it could be, for example, like a malicious sign or a malicious link. You know.
Yeah. Hey,
Forever
Mark,
Punks, do you use Nosa Safe?
I have played around with it, but I don't like actively use it on ETH, like ETH wise.
Yeah, I'm trying to set like a proper one up this weekend for some of my ERC20s. Uh, it's been like a long time coming.
I do multisig for Bitcoin. That's what I do. But like
What do you
yeah,
use for that?
there's a couple of things there, but one that I like a lot is a thing called Unchained Capital.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah. I've heard of
it's
these guys.
basically like a semi hosted multisig that one out of the three keys sorry one out of the three keys is with a company, so that means that they can help you with one signature, but they don't have custody of your funds. So that's a nice kind of for long-term cold storage. That's nice for Bitcoin. And like I like to use that, and I have a couple of friends using that. So
How do they make money?
they make money on like institutional clients, right? So if you're just a kind of one individual, I think it's for free. But yeah, I think that's their business model.
Interesting. So you feel pretty certain that like they'll be around in a number of
Well,
years
well,
just based
it's
on
not
their
even
revenue
it's
from their
it's not
enterprise
even
clients?
it's not even a question if will they be around, because everything is like open source, so it's permissionless. So it's, even if they go away, you have the stuff you need to recover your funds, right?
I see. Like
So
even they're part of the multi-sig.
well, no, they're part of the multi-sig they have, but like
Like
the
if it's like a 2 out of 3 multi-sig, they go under, they disappear off planet Earth, and you lose one of your
yeah, but
keys. Then are you
I would
fucked?
put a no, I would put an asterisk there. 2 out of 3 really means like one key, Valko. One key is pretty much uh, a seed phrase of 12 words plus a hardware wallet, right?
Right.
So if they go under, you have like your two pieces, right? But the two pieces are really four pieces, right? They're two hardware wallets and two kind of what's it called? Seed phrases on a paper, right?
Wait. So what piece do they have?
Well, they have one of the three pieces, like, and then
But
you have
they have a seed phrase and a hardware wallet.
yeah. I mean, you don't know what they have. You don't know what they have, but they instruct you to set up a hardware wallet and a seed phrase, 2 times. It's a bit hard to explain over the phone now, but it may. So basically, on your end, you would have like four stuff, and you can
Yeah, I mean
lose.
you have to lose both hardware wallets and both seed phrases,
Yeah,
or
pretty
really
much.
one of the hardware wallets and one of the same seed phrases.
Yeah. But you could even lose like 3 out of the 4 stuff on your end as long as they are in business, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Interesting.
I mean, I haven't like looked deep into this for the past, I'd say, I guess 2, 3 years, because that's when I set it up, and now it's just like cold storage stuff, the way it should be. But yeah,
Well, I've officially walked one of my 2 hours home. This is crazy. I never walked 2 hours home.
nice,
It was
nice,
fun.
Mark.
I wanted to see Japan. Yeah, Mark,
M-
what's up?
Mark, I've seen you up on stage for a while. Are you here? Can you hear us?
What up, guys? Good morning.
How is it going?
It's good. Life's been a little hectic. I've been packing up my house and trying to get it ready to hit the market. So it's been quite busy.
What does hitting the market mean for you?
I'm expecting a third child, so we've outgrown our house. I'm selling it and moving.
Oh shit! Congrats.
What he meant to say is he's expecting a third child. He's putting his house on the market so he can buy them the perfect ENS name.
Hey, I
Or
already have Grapey.eth, just my last name.
Hey, that's
But
pretty good. Like that's what you pass down to your kin. That's some special shit right there.
yeah, it's special, but it's limited because we're like one of three Grayfee families, or I guess four Grayfee families in the United States, and the other three are my cousins. So the
Well,
market for that ETH name is small, but I
once
got
you
it.
once you proliferate your seed, you'll create an entire market around your last name, and they'll just be competing with one another. I don't know if that's ideal or not, but
Well,
that's what's
it's
going down.
yeah, it's the time and market argument, right?
Yeah, it is.
hey man, congrats on your recent sales and sculptures. Like I love following your account. You had what Metas Nomadic, Dan Polko, and then you also had Mabu that got a piece of yours.
Yeah, and I'm also making his PFP as well, and there's another coming. I actually and a second of Metanomatics as well. So I've got three sculptures just ready to build. But I mean, as you guys can guess, I'm kind of nutty with the quality. So I've rejected like a lot of different powder coating. So I'm kind of stuck in between having some pieces refinished to make sure that it matches quality that I'm aiming for. So I've got stuff ready to go. I actually have Meta's second sculpture like 90% built, just around the pieces that are getting refinished. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern until I get the parts back. But yeah, so you should see three more CryptoPunk sculptures that are full sized, and then I also have a personal project. I'm making a mooncat. I know everyone's got like these different ideas or concepts of mooncats. Some people think they're trash. Some people really love them. Um, I like them. I mean, to me, I'm
I love them. They're amazing.
yeah, I love them too, and it also has a personal meaning to me where when I was really getting interested in crypto and when I was getting interested in ETH before I even bought some, I'd already been following a bunch of people on Twitter in the crypto space, and the day that Mooncats were rediscovered and they started getting minted again was like basically I consider my ETH origin story. So they have a soft spot in my heart for sure.
Yeah, I've been around like NFTs for a while. Like I got my punk in 2017, but the Mooncat story is really interesting because at the time I didn't know about them, but they're obviously like a very early like 2017 project. But one of my buddies who has been like a big crypto punk and NFT naysayer, he kind of like got woke to NFTs one day on his own. I don't know what it was, but like it blew my mind. He's like an electrical engineer. He's very like classical and is a doubting Thomas when it comes to these things. And he was like, "Hey, like I was exploring the blockchain and I actually found this contract." And he sends me the Mooncats thing. And he's like, "Look, it's like a 2017 project, and there's like all of these other ones available. We should get some." And I, of course, similar to my reaction to Bored Apes and really every other NFT project ever, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna stick to collecting my CryptoPunks. I was a little fucking stubborn about it. And 2 weeks later, like Web3 discovered Mooncats and they all minted out. And he hit me up again. Or actually no, I hit him up as it was happening. Because I was like, dude, you were right. Like, these are special. And I was able to mint two. And I got one for me. Well, I basically got two for me, but as like a thank you to him, and maybe like an admission of defeat or sign of respect, I gave my other one to him. So I got two Mooncats, but I minted them whatever in 2021, not 2017. But I've got like a really fun story around that too. Like it was just, I don't know. There's something special about the Mooncats that you just like can't really describe it unless you like really went
You
through
had to
that
be
moment.
there
You know
that
what I mean?
day, like you had to be on Twitter that day to realize how special it was, because
And,
all of a
and for
sudden,
me, it was the first time I interacted manually with a smart contract because the front end went down. So I felt like I earned it in a way,
yeah, yeah, like the whole, like all of crypto Twitter, all of a sudden was just talking about Mooncats, and it still took like a minute to sell out, like maybe 6 hours or 8 hours. And in that time, I was scrambling to get my first ETH, and I wasn't able to. So later on, I ended up picking a couple up on secondary, but I still view that as like my origin because like the next day, like I managed a way to get ETH
So
the
what
day
is the
after.
pixel resolution of a Mooncat versus a CryptoPunk's 24 by 24, right?
It's like twice the size.
Gotcha. So are you doing similar sized cubes and just a bigger thing, or half the size cubes? So, like, what's your
Yeah.
operating
So
system here?
so the last run of sculptures were all that like 3.5 foot size, which is a 1.875 inch cube. So what I did is I overran at the same size, so it's going to be quite big.
That's
Um,
amazing. So it's gonna be like 6 feet tall or something.
no, it's about the same height, so it's going to be um, like 4 by 6, I want to say.
That's amazing. Which
Yeah.
How,
So
how
Moonchat are
long?
you doing?
How long does it take you to make a sculpture, like a full size sculpture like this?
I mean, from beginning to end is a long time, but because there's a lot that goes into it, right? So there's the engineering sketch and the planning, and then there's if the cube is a different size, I need to do all new engineering sketches of the individual cubes. And for the last batch, I had 16 different formats where like some had taps, some had throughs, some were solid and just had taps on one side or two, or solid and hollowed out. And I mean, there's just each cube needs like a special, um, it's specialized for its place in the sculpture. So like there's that, and then there's working with a machine, like a machine shop, and then after that, I QC the parts. Then after that, I get them powder coated, and then I QC them. And then after they're powder coated, even like all the threaded spots are when you powder coat them, you put a screw in there, so they all have these. It's called like volcano, so that they have raised spots around where the threaded uh, screw is put in to protect the threads. So then I have to actually go through each part and clean it up. So like that process even takes a long time. Once I have everything like prepped and ready to go, it takes somewhere between like a week and a half to build each one.
So once you hit scale, like, say you have 10 times as many people ordering these, what are the parts of your process that would like yield the highest amounts of efficiency?
Uh, it would be hiring someone and training them how to build it. I think would be the most efficient because, as I mentioned, I have number three on the way, but the two occupy a huge amount of time. So oftentimes, and my wife has, a big boy job also, which requires hours that she needs to work. So I'm also the caregiver of my children. So anytime they're sick, I lose a day, or anytime they have a doctor's appointment, I lose several hours.
So
So
you
that's
stay at home, you play with big boy Legos, and watch the kids.
well, I have a 6-year-old daughter who's now in kindergarten and a 2-year-old son who's in daycare. But on the days that they're sick, I can't go into my studio and work.
What do they think about your big boy Legos?
Dude, they love them.
I bet.
Dude,
Oh
kids love them,
man,
and that's
so dope.
going back to the Mooncat. Kids love these things, and it's especially evident when I take them out in town. I think you guys have each seen pictures where I put the sculptures on a wagon, and I kind of walk around and I put them in a place, and I fish for moments of people interacting with the sculptures, and I really love that. But when you pass a kid and they see what you're turning around, they just light up. They're so inquisitive. They're like, "Oh, is that Minecraft?" That's always the first question.
You're like,
But
yeah, basically. You should probably build like a 3D like a creeper, like a Minecraft creeper. Kids are gonna go nuts.
yeah, um, so with the Mooncat, actually, the end goal is I want to donate it to the local pediatric hospital. So to have it by the front door outside, where kids can see it as they come and go to their appointments, I think would be a bright spot in maybe an otherwise not pleasant visit.
Yeah. My family owns like a window cleaning company, and we do the children's hospitals in a bunch of major cities. And on Halloween, our guys will like dress up as like Spider-Man, and shit goes like viral on online, because the kids just love that shit. Like it's like a real world fantasy for them.
There's also nothing more pure than seeing a kid get excited about anything.
Yeah, no, we've all lost that part of ourselves. Not completely, but it feels like we lose it.
Yeah, so guys, before wrapping up, uh, I was wondering, like from our earlier conversations, we spoke about, all-time high of Bitcoin and of ETH. One question that I always like ask myself, and probably you as well, Valko, where do you guys see the punk floor all-time high in terms of ETH, and why?
Oh, it's so hard. I like to denominate in ETH when I'm in the crypto world because, you know, I only own crypto assets and very few traditional financial assets. But when I think like long term about punks in that way, it's hard for me not to denominate in US dollars
Really?
because all of the comparables, like in my mind, are like more US dollar oriented. And I think about this all the time. Like, I was just in London, and like everywhere in London, you see watch stores for like the Patek Philippe watches, right? And like they make, I want to say like 50 or 60,000 of those things a year. And it's not easy to make them. Like, if you want to learn how to make one as a watch guy, you have to train for like 10 years to even learn how to make them. So the flow and the stock to flow model there is like constrained in a number of ways, not just the material costs, but like the skills behind the labor to make it. Of course, we can probably like automate that and do a bunch of manufacturing stuff there. But point being, like that's a really interesting analog. Like those watches go, for the prices of CryptoPunks or half the price of a CryptoPunk. So I often use that as an analog, but obviously the supply of those is way higher, and they make 60,000 new ones a year. But anyways, getting back to your question, it's hard for me not to think in terms of comparables like that and denominating in USD. Because if I were to give you a price in ETH, like now I'm not just speculating. In my mind, it's like there's two variables I'm solving for. I'm solving for X and Y. I'm solving for, the price of Ethereum and the value of the crypto book. Because realistically, like, you know, everything's going to be denominated in something besides Ethereum for a very
Yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
time.
I mean,
But I guess if I were to answer it plainly, I can easily see as, crypto gets more adoption, the punk floor being well over $1 million a punk.
exactly. That's what I was.
That's
That's
going
what
to
I
be
was
a whiles
about to
away. But like
say. It's kind of
we
like
saw, we saw today in Dubai, right? They auctioned off. I think it was in Dubai, a license plate. It was the number 7. So a few months ago, maybe a year ago, the number 5 went in Dubai, just in the jurisdiction of Dubai and their license plate system. The number 5 went, I think, for 5 million USD. Today, Um, number 7 went for $15 million. It was a world record for like a single digit license plate. And that just kind of goes to show like how much people are willing to pay for that type of flex. Now, obviously, there's only 10 single digit license plates in Dubai, but like, point being, like, that's something that the everyday person uses and appreciates and wants to flex on, whereas NFTs and stuff aren't there yet. But once they do get there, I can very well see the punk floor being well over $1 million. And tossing the equation time and inflation, then you start to see the whole picture.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. What do you think will outperform or perform better in the shorter term or in the following years, ETH or Punks? Because if Punks floor stays the same, it means it's like growing as big as ETH is growing, which is like quite a lot already. I don't know. I kind of feel like in the short
That's a very
term,
good question. Yeah,
you know.
my take is for most other NFT collection than Punks, that ETH is just better, right? Just basically any other NFT collection you can think of, uh, ETH would be better.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So that means the price might drop. The floor, like if you see it in
but
ETH.
but but then the thing is, for Punks, I think that in 10 years we're still gonna talk about Punks.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
that
biased, but
no, that was what I was about to say. I think ETH will grow, like, or will, like, get bigger and until it reaches like market adoption. But I think after that, like in the super long term, I think punks will outperform ETH, because they are like a historic buy. You are buying something historical. So if the like PFP, I don't know, if the PFP theorem goes like everybody wants to have their PFP, blah blah blah, you will always like think about punks like being the first ones.
I think it's such a hard question to answer, but I would, basically, if I were to look at myself, like, I own 4 CryptoPunks, and I only really use one of them as my identity. The other one I use is my girlfriend's identity, and the other two I like. Like, there is sentimental value to them, but if I were to toss that sentimental value out the window, the only reason I hold them deep down is because for some period of time between now and the future, maybe it's a month, maybe it's a day, maybe it's 10 years, like, I consciously or subconsciously believe that punks will outperform me. Now, I could be wrong, but that bet has served me well historically to date. So it's a bet I'm willing to continue making. And in fact, like, I want to buy more punks. Part of that, again, is sentimental. Like, I love them, but I also do view it as a pretty amazing asset class. It would be interesting to do like a study on, like, is there a similar thing in history where there was an emergent asset class like Ethereum and punks that you could study, like, I don't know what it would be, but it's like a new art piece or collectible and an emerging currency that it was like somehow tied to. I don't know. It's probably there probably isn't an existing comparable to make there, uh, but that would be the best way, I think, to even try to get any sort of guess on this.
yeah.
It's great, it's great. Yeah, no, I totally. I mean, I don't know, but I know in the long term for sure. I think punks will outperform ETH. Like once ETH has reached like the like huge market adoption. I think after that, like punks can keep racing.
I mean, it's almost like asking, like, I don't know, like, will back in the day, like, will Picasso's art pieces outperform, whatever the currency his art was issued in? Like, I don't know, where was he from?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it did for sure. They keep printing money, so so it did for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, recently it's been pretty volatile, the punk floor. I mean, a couple of weeks ago it was at 75. You guys remember? Now we're very close to 55. I personally think that if we hit, like 49 or something, that could be a great buying opportunity. Just having the punk floor mentally in the 40s, that would just, make a bunch of people just want to snag one.
Yeah, I think so.
So for you, for people who are looking to buy a punk or maybe their first punk, I think low 50s or high 40s is just such a cool opportunity. I mean, including myself, I'm like, why don't I just pick another one up? Because it's 50 ETH is a lot of money, but we could you can carve it out if you're in the situation.
How
Yeah, I
has
feel the
it
same.
tracked? How has it tracked, like floor wise, if you dominate in USD? Like, has the floor dropped in ETH recently? Because
Valko, I honestly think punk floor is very independent from USD floor currently, right? Like because USD ETH is like fluctuating all over the place now, right? And
It's
Yeah,
I
I
it's
think,
think.
down like 10K, right? So it was at 120 for a while, and it was hovering around 100 for a while. And when punks bottomed out, I think they were like what 80K.
but yes, I think punks are going down now, not because USD is going up, not because ETH is going up. I think punks are going down now because all of the blur stuff. Punks
Yeah, I agree.
OTC yesterday dumped 2,000 ETH worth of punks into the blur bids, right? So it's more that dynamic that is driving down that the hot
wait, did
potatoes.
he really?
Yeah. Yesterday, 2,000 ETH of punks. He dumped it
Wait,
straight
so
in.
what was the floor before he did that?
I think he dumped around 56. It was interesting because he bought around 56 2 weeks ago. Then it went to 63. I don't know what he did afterwards, but then so it's going lower. Like now those people that got those punks, they have the hot potatoes basically. So,
Wow,
but I think
that's
that's more.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big players in here for sure, but I think that's more the driver of the floor price and not the USD ETH price at the moment. That's what I think.
No,
Yeah,
you're
but
right. I mean, that's crazy. That's like at a price where like basically, people who made some good change on some new projects like Nakamoto's and shit, like they're gonna be able to trade it for a punk pretty soon.
But that's good for the project, right? That's good for punks. When these massive whales that own, I don't know, 100 punks, they dump and then it gets distributed into single hand holders like myself or like just that's good. That's what kind of brings the holder count up. But yeah, Exotics, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah. Oh, I like the conversation. I just had a thought that I think there's a lot of big, let's say, collectors, art collectors. Um, I mean, the whole industry, right? The whole art and collectible industry is $426 billion annualized, right? So I don't know what portion of NFTs and CryptoPunks are of that right now, but I don't think it's more than like, I don't know, a few percentage points at the most, right? So I think as time goes on and that carve out or that market share increases, then there's a lot of room to grow for CryptoPunks, for collectible NFTs, what have you.
Well, I have this website that I use a lot called NFT Price Floor. I don't know if you guys use it. And currently, the total NFT market cap, they estimated about 4 million ETH, right? That's what they estimated. Out of which the punk market cap is currently around 600,000 ETH, okay? So out of 4 million, 600,000 is the punk market cap. So that's roughly like 15%.
yeah, I have a question for you guys regarding the floor and what you were saying. Like, I wasn't looking at the punks when the floor was at like 40 ETH, but like I feel like sometimes you look at the floor, but then you can get confused. Like maybe the floor is on 40, the one you want to buy, you think it might be on 50, but it's not. Like when the floor is on 70, like usually the punk you like is like 80, 85. What about when the floor is 40? You think like a cool punk could be there at like 50 ETH? Or you think like the people holding these punks would not sell? Because I was really surprised. This punk with the bandana and the sunglasses. I don't know if you saw it. Like 2 days ago, it was sold, like pretty close to the floor, and it was a super cool punk actually.
It's kind of the blur effect. A lot of like mid punks have been trading around the floor.
Yeah.
So it used to be you'd have to reach a lot farther to get one that you want, I think.
Oh, so now you're saying like mid banks are like closer to the floor right now?
Well, I mean, there's like a
Yes.
purple hat. There are like three purple hats pretty close. Well, one that's basically on floor, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like they at least traded for what 1.25 x floor
yeah,
or something or 1.5.
yeah. I mean, that'll be cool if like the floor reaches like 40 something, and you have these mid banks close to floor. I think that's super interesting opportunity. Yeah.
The very first CryptoPunk I got back in 2017, it was a VR with pale skin, and a hoodie and a goatee. I got it for like, I forget. It was like zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2 ETH, which at the time was like less than $135. It's like $127. I sold it. I forget when I bought it. I immediately listed it for like 5 ETH, like as a joke, because I got it for zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2 ETH. So I immediately listed it for for 5 ETH. So that's obviously like a huge return. And I never looked at it for years. And then one day I started to notice, like, because I would always check on that. I started to notice the punk floor was rising, and I checked back, and it sold for 5 ETH, which at the time was like $2,000. And I used that to buy Valco. So like I was always in the collection. I bought two punks on the same day in 2017. Both were hoodies, and they were dope. And so they sold. And anyways, long story short, that VR hoodie, which I got for $127, I think it's had several owners since. It just sold like 3 days ago for 400K. And I always ask myself, like, would I have been better off just holding that instead of trading up? Basically, I turned two punks into five punks. But I also, the first two I had were hoodies, which obviously we've seen how hoodies have performed in the market. Like they've performed exceptionally well. So I've never really bothered to do the math, especially factoring in like taxes and stuff. But I have a sneaking suspicion that I might have been better off, even though I turned two punks into five punks. I might have been better off holding the two original hoodie punks just due to the simple fact that hoodies have turned out to be basically relative to their quantity the most valuable punks in the market.
Well, that's crazy story. I mean, that those are like the stories I like to hear. I feel like they're like super emotional. I turn like a kid, as you were saying before. Yeah, with these kind of stories.
Yeah, it's crazy. I Noah, the guy who works for Yuga Labs now, he represents punks. He's like the punks Yuga Labs liaison. Um, he like hit me up the other day. He's like, you know who owns your original hoodie punk, the VR one? And I didn't know, so I was like, I don't know. Like, we'll have to ask the community. Like, fast forward a few weeks later, maybe a month later, it sold. So I don't know if he had anything to do with that. Probably not. I think it's just a cool punk. But yeah, it's interesting seeing your old punks you've had move around.
I think
There's like
I
a
saw
there's
your
a
punk being
feeling there.
sold. Was it like a black punk with a hoodie, like dark
No, that was a
skin?
that was a different one that sold for really cheap recently.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
had like a mole. No, mine was albino. It was like super pale and had a
Oh,
goatee and VR headset.
wow, that's nice. Yeah.
I think recently these trade premiums are losing their premium. Like even hoodies, as you said, Valco are like trading cheaper than they usually are trading. So I
Right.
think the meta now is to buy near floor. Like if I would buy another punk, I would definitely not go in the higher trades. I would try to buy a nice profile picture type punk very close to the floor price. And in order to like help people do that, we added to Forever Punks a sorting filter where you can like sort punks from best deals to worst deals and in the floor price range. So I just commented in the comments the link. So if anyone wants to check it out, you just click on there and you can see basically punks that are like near floor price sorted from best deal to worst deal. And if I were in the market to buy a punk, I would basically like just look at that filter, many times a day. And if something pops up, I would just, pick it up before, Punk's OTC or someone else picks it up.
So
It would be
what's
really
called?
interesting to do an analysis on like the longer the punk floor is stagnant or declining, does the delta between the punk floor and like mid-tier punks like compress or expand?
So on this, I have no analysis, but I think what the case is that in a bear market, in a punk's bear market, the punk floor gets closer to like the mid tier, and in a bull run where everyone's like want to snipe their forever punk, then you get a
Like
huge premium.
speculation becomes
Exactly,
hyper-speculation.
exactly. And
I
so
pinned
yeah,
my first punk up here for those
is that your first
who
punk? So
want to see it.
that just sold at a crazy cheap price a couple of days ago to OTC, and I was like, holy shit! I can't believe this VR hoodie just sold for $215, whereas it really should be trading at $315 in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. You click on it, you can go down like transaction number 7 or something. It's got Valco.eth in there.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my third NFT. I got 2 crypto kitties, and like 2 hours later, I got 2 crypto punks. But this one was my very first crypto punk.
This is a nice one.
It was cool. Yeah, I had another hoodie that I hated the other hoodie so much, and even this one, like now it's funny, like now I like it a lot more than I did back in the day. But back in the day, I looked at both of them and I was like, none of these represent me, and that's why I ended up getting Valco, because I didn't have a beard, like, and I wasn't really a big hoodie guy, like, so it's just funny how the market can shape your opinions.
Yeah, they call this the ass-eating punk.
Yes, yeah, he's got
It's so
that poop
funny.
mouth.
So
Yeah, I never saw it that way, but when somebody said that, it's like never unseen.
Yeah.
And there's it's become a derivative like feature, like what's it? Cryptodes have the same exact feature.
Yeah. Bueno, guys, I think I'll be bouncing fairly soon. What's up with you, Valco?
Yeah, I'm going to be bouncing pretty soon. I'm about to cross a bridge. It's pretty windy, and then I'm going to walk into one of these 7-Elevens that have so many amazing things. So,
but yeah, super
that's gonna
fun
be my evening.
conversation. I literally could just go on for hours about this kind of stuff. But yeah, on Thursday we have Lanamour joining us. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So yeah, Thursday, same time, we have Lanamour. He's working on a cool project as well. I love that guy. I met him in Paris. He has such good energy. So yeah, see you guys, I guess, on Thursday, and everyone who joined and even who hopped up on stage. Thanks for joining, and yeah. Enjoy your week, and yeah, feel free to ping me anytime you want.
Yeah, if you guys want to get up on stage and like present something, a story, project, learning, a win, a loss, DM us. We'd love to have you guys up as a guest speaker.
Cool. Goodbye, guys. Have a nice week.
Cheers.
All
Have a
right,
good one.
signing off. See y'all.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.